InshaAllah. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ashrafil mursaleen Sayyidina wa Mawlana Muhammadan Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Madad ya Sayyidi ya Rasul Kareem Habibul Azim Zuharana wa Ishfarana wa habidina bi madadakum wa nazarakum. Madad ya Sayyidi ya Sultan al-Awliya Masha Abdul Faiz Daghestani. Madad ya Sayyidi ya Sultan al-Awliya Masha Muhammad Nazim Haqqani. Madad ya Sultan al-Qulubina Mawlana Shaykh Hisham Qabbani. Madad al-Haqq ya Hujjatullah ya al-Mukhlas Zuharana wa Ishfarana. Alhamdulillah. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Ati'ullah, ati'ur Rasul, ulul amri minkum. And alhamdulillah for Mawlana Shaykh's teaching as a reminder that everything is in that reality of ati'ullah, ati'ur Rasul wa ulul amri minkum. Everything is based on obedience to Allah, obedience to the prophetic reality, and to follow the way of the ulul amr. Means there's a secret in that three. This is going to be now in the video. So to base our life off that reality that there's always going to be a secret in this number three, that obedience to Allah is like the secret of the essence, the ultimate goal of the reality of the seeker to reach to the obedience of Allah and for us to visualize like an essence, like the innermost secret of a room. And Allah knows that that's going to be difficult for us just to hit right into that bullseye, so gives for us that ati Rasul. Make your life to follow the way of Prophet, the way of love, patience, tolerance and khuluqul azim, the best of character. If that is the litmus test, because now we are bombarded with internet shaykhs, they're everywhere. Where before you had to travel long distance to maybe sit, now you just sit on your laptop and you can go to 100 shaykhs in one day, watch all these different videos. And awliyaullah come into our life, the most important character is khuluq, that they are inheriting from the best of character. If whatever knowledge is coming is not based on character, run from it. It doesn't mean anything. It means you're being fed something in a dangerous cup. The ulum can be amazing, the qiraat can be astonishing. I hear myself. You're watching me on the live broadcast? Is it enough you don't see me in person, huh? Hello. Yeah. Okay. So means then because they want to understand that any knowledge if not based on good character, it means to observe. We observe with our heart and we see the character is good, the akhlaq is good, the understanding, the muhabbat is good, then that's a fountain to drink from. So ati Rasul become now like a room for us, that we want to be in that room and we want to find the secret of what Allah has for us. That's our goal. I want the room of Prophet. Inside that room like a video game that you're so familiar with, it's the same concept. When they make a video game they make just a room and just change the scenario, you're still in the same place. That's when someday you'll wake up and realize, wow, that was really crazy to play this game for so long. You never left the room. It's just one picture of a room and you running around and think you go to different levels, it's still the same room, just painted with different scenarios. And Allah said, the real game you should be playing is to reach to this reality. Find the room in which Prophet is there. find the association in which Prophet is there. In that association there are going to be a secret essence of Allah. If they are from the Ahbab al-Nabi the lovers of Prophet that through their character known and unknown is based on the love of Prophet. Means they mention Prophet often, they praise upon Prophet often, they talk about Prophet in everything. They don't talk on behalf of Allah. There's a bad character that always wants to go over you. I said before, somebody would sit with us, I was Mawlana saying, Mawlana, when I'm sitting closing my eyes, how he's talking in Mawlana's presence, how am I gonna connect my heart to Sayyidina Mahdi salam? I was like, oh my God, how did this person ask that in front of Mawlana? Mawlana looked at the person, connect to Sayyidina Mahdi salam. So why you have to do that? Why don't you go straight to Prophet? And then he thought a little bit longer, said, why you have to even do that? Why you don't just go directly to Allah? You don't need to ask us, we're small people, just go directly you to Allah. Means this character of thinking oneself high and I deal with the boss. This was the character of shaitan. When Allah said, make sujood, means accept the Khalifa, accept Sayyidina Adam is my Khalifa, bow down, pay your ihtiram and your respect. The character of shaitan said, no way, there's no way I'm going to accept him between me and you. So it means there is an egoism always in the character that never wants to accept an authority, especially an authority that's in the presence of that authority. It's easier to say, no, I don't care for your authority, I'm going to make my authority with that one 4,000 miles away. And the trick that you play with yourself is that that one 4,000 miles away is not going to test you every day. So it means you're telling yourself, I don't have to listen to anyone, I don't have to follow anyone. But why Allah has 124,000 rooms on this earth, 124,000 awliyaullah between men and women. They are rooms of Prophet where Allah describes in Holy Qur'an, fiikum, that Prophet is amongst you. We'll look from the world of light. When Allah no time saying that Prophet is amongst you, then He must not be talking about the form, because Allah has no time and Allah God forbid makes no understandings of mistakes. So when Allah says Prophet is amongst you, why are they reading Qur'an as if it was a story from something old? Qur'an is beyond alive, it's not even created, but it must be relevant at every second and every moment. So then Allah is giving us isharat that Prophet's light is all around you. And those ahbab and those lovers and ashiqeen, they are overflowing fountains of love of Sayyidina Muhammad, and wherever they are is the light of Prophet. 124,000 of those rooms on this earth, they carry the love of Prophet. As a result, there's a secret within their heart from the essence of Allah. Then for the understanding to reach that room, there's a surah, there's a face. There's a face that attracts you to the room, otherwise how would you find that room? Just by random chance, Ya Rabbi guide me, I'm going to walk down the street and find that room? No, Allah said, make it very easy. Atiullah is a secret in their heart, Ati Rasul is whom they are. Wa ulul amri minkum, search these ulul amr. Make a life in which you are looking for these men of authority, Men as in masculine, it can be woman, man, whom Allah gives their isharat and gives their guidance. They are the people of authority. So our life was to find these ulul am, and their characteristic of the room that they carry is the characteristic and the love of Sayyidina Muhammad. Means then Allah make for them, propagate your face, put your face out. They've been given permission by Prophet. If you don't have permission from Prophet, you put your face out, you become dead and sick. Because if people look at your face too much, calamity will visit you, hardship will visit you, disease will be upon you. Because that face is going to attract that light. So means some of these 124,000 they have an authority that propagate your face. As soon as your face goes out, it will attract those people to that reality. If they come to that face and they come to that presence, they become aware of that presence, Allah dresses their being to enter into that room. So by the face we were attracted, means we found them. The face is a symbol of finding, and Allah gives an honour and a majesty that everything perishes but the holy face, Wajhikal Kareem. So means that when Allah give an order to them, propagate your face, because it's isharat. What's the purpose of giving somebody isharat if he sit by himself next to a tree? When he's been given permission, he's been given that, you've been raised by us, you know how to be independent. You're not going to go out and start something and every day come back to your shaykh, say, give me $5 now, can I have $10 now, can I have this now, can I have that now? I said, wait, that was what the kids did. The kids, they have to keep going back to Baba. The man whom the shaykh raised says, you're now ready, you go out and propagate your face, and whomever sees your face will come to that guidance. You'll have your own phone number, you'll have your own website, you'll have all your own, be independent, and you'll be given by Prophet a means in which to reach to people, and that is the rahmah of Allah. Why the different madhabs? Based on where they were. It was a mercy from Allah. If everybody had to have the madhab of Egypt, but they may be in the subcontinent and things weren't relevant to them. Means it's a rahmah when Allah has these different flavors of an approach to Prophet. One of those rooms may speak in a way that's relevant to your life and to your culture, may be serving a certain way in which is attracted to you and that brings you into that reality. So it's not one way, it's not all vanilla. That's when the mind doesn't understand that, why do you operate differently, why is everything different? All of it is a rahmah from Prophet, that room that you operate, it has its own phone number, has its own websites, has its own responsibility, has its own mission from Prophet, that you are to do and establish this. And the shaykhs guided them, establish that. And as a result you're like the face that will bring people to that room. Which room? The love of Sayyidina Muhammad. And why Allah put an emphasis on their face? Means the face of these servants is from the oceans of hayat. We described before, they inherit from the two openings of the ears, as-sami' al-basir. Allah's essences dress the face, because the face that they look at is a reflection of the face that they look at, is a reflection to the face that they look at, all the way to the Sultan who looks directly into the real face of Sayyidina Muhammad. from that face of Prophet looks to the reality of Allah wajalla. That face of Prophet is Sami al-Basir, it takes from the hearing and from the seeing. So the reality of hearing and seeing is being dressed upon that reality of Prophet. From the tongue, Sifat al-Alim. So when that face is looking to that face, these are lights and sifats of Allah dressing upon their face. This is a description. These rooms are not random rooms, these are not something small. Most people can't even explain that reality. When they want to explain the reality, they want you to understand that that face in there is an activated face, and by order of Prophet it's operating the way it has to operate, independent. It has its own phone number, has its own websites, has its own books, has its own knowledges, all from his Sultan, from his Shaykh. It has from Alim al-Qadir, means that the sifat of Allah's ancient knowledges. Alim, al-Alim is dressing their tongue. Allah dress upon their breath sifat al-Qadir. Their breath is Allah's qudrah. They breathe with power upon their soul. We said many times before that they can't even describe. In their breath they can breathe all the souls of everyone in their association. Because you think from the world of form, you think from the world of light, that let's say there's a light here. In one instant that light can pull everybody's light into it. With its nafas in its breath, it will clean all the imperfections, dress from whatever Allah dressing, Prophet dressing and awliyaullah dressing upon their soul, and breathe it back out within an instant and a fraction of a second. Because we think physical, so what are these happening in these associations? The power that Allah give, that the tongue dressed from Allah's ancient knowledges, their breath from Allah's qudrah and power, that they have a breath within their power and a might that moves around, and it doesn't even be locked into this room. Whomever is looking to their face, they are being dressed by that reality. So Alim al-Qadir wa Nur al-Hayy, Nur al-Hayy. From their right eye comes a nur, from their left eye comes Bahr al-Hayat. Anyone deficient in light that sits with them, from their right eye comes a light from the nur, and that nur from Sifat ar-Rahman. In other talks we described, Allah dressed them with Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. And Sifat ar-Rahman, because Rahman ends with the noon. This Rahim, noon, means that this is the secret of the whole world of form and light. From their right eye a nur comes out. Anyone deficient in their light because of their hubb ad-dunya will be revitalized with that light. That's why the Dajjal has an eye poked out. The Antichrist, we don't believe in Antichrist, we believe in the person of deception, because it's not about Christ only. It's that every Dajjal that come, his eye is missing, and every show shows his eye missing, and every television has his eye, every satellite has his every eye is everywhere. Why is missing? To show that I have no light for akhirah. I am only the one who brings hayatul dunya. I have nothing to do, I'm cut from akhirah. My whole responsibility of Dajjal is to take the light and the hope of akhirah away and fill them with the love of dunya. And that's why all of his ulama, the singers, the movie stars, the actresses, those are his scholars. They go and they propagate, there is nothing in the heavens for you, and live life to your fullest. So as we know that Dajjal is active, you don't think Allah is caring for Ummat al-Nabi? Must be. But his activity seems to be much more powerful. He puts concerts with hundreds of thousands of people. We're talking the other night, 100,000 people come to their concerts. And one of their ulama get up and start singing songs that dress them and possess them, and then keep putting their hand up in the middle of the event to take bay'ah. This is an initiation. When they put their hand up and the other one puts his hand up, he's agreeing to take the hand. So we sit back and we watch and say, look what the shaitans are doing. They're having initiations, they're giving bay'ah to everybody, they're mashaAllah, they're all not mashaAllah, astaghfirullah, they're all over every television show in the millions. And the people of light, they're sitting with 10 people, 50 people, 100 people, the few that will represent many. But Allah didn't leave this nation to be empty without anything. So then describing that this face with this nur, the light come from their right eye is a nur that dresses anything that sees it, and from their left eye Bahrul Hayat. Their Bahrul Hayat means they can muhyi al-qulub. These salawats that we're reciting, because fiikum, why they're teaching you about Prophet because they are the inheritors of Prophet. So if you don't know the reality of Sayyidina Muhammad you're definitely not going to know the reality of who they are. So when they teach you that Prophet in the salawats, every single one of these ulama are writing these salawats, they are muhyi al-qulub, mahni al-dhunub, the reviver of the heart and the destroyer of sins. From their left eye a light go out and hit everybody, and they can revive a dead heart. A heart that feels it has no hope, has no purpose, has no understanding. No, in one association they can revitalize all the light, recharge all the soul, recharge and repump the heart and recalibrate the heart back into the love of Allah and the love of Sayyidina Muhammad. And from that face and those 7 points they are taking from their shaykh. So what they take from their shaykh is not comparable with you thinking you're taking from their shaykh. That's why they say, then lower yourself and your pride and sit with them. They'll train you and teach you. But you think you're going to take from my shaykh what I'm taking from my shaykh? Shaitan fooling you and playing with you. And why hasn't your character changed? Because when the shaykh's face is dressing, he's blessing and changing the entire being of that person. Means their entire being, their energy, everything around them has been changed because they stare into that sun and they see that sun with its realities not as a reflection. Some people may say, oh I see too. No, you see through a reflection. If I take the sunshine and take a mirror and point it to you, you say, oh my gosh, I'm seeing the sun. No, incorrect, you only saw a reflection of the sun. If you truly saw the sun, it would begin to burn everything onto you. If you really went out and looked to the sun, what would happen? You feel the pain coming through your eyes. What then you think if you were truly looking at the face of the shaykh? Or you think you're even looking at Prophet, you're looking at a reflection 1000 times lower than yourself. Because the shaykh also has a Muhammadan reflection, that when you see the image of Sayyidina Muhammad you're seeing the shaykh's reflection of his Muhammadan reality. You're not seeing what his shaykh sees, and you're not seeing what the shaykh above him sees, and you're definitely not seeing what the Sultan and Awliya is seeing. These are just mirrors, and that's why all of the tariqah was to come break the mirror. Break your ego, break your bad characteristics, break all your desires, break all these mirrors, be nothing so that they can begin to dress you. come just as a student, to be nothing. If you can come into that meditation, into that tafakkur, means you become into their hudur, into their presence. When you truly accompany the one that you're with and come into their presence, they then at that time can begin to train you. And they train you and their nazar will be upon you, and their nazar will dress you, bless you and take away all the bad characteristics. And from that reality they go deeper into that person and teach them about the muhabbat. And that nazar and muhabbat should be changing their character, change their qadab, their anger, all of the badness of their character. There are people who can get angry in an instant, Then what was the purpose of all your practices? We're not talking about anger in what… when Allah's angry. There are certain things in life, if you go out of your Islamic understanding and you anger Allah, you're going to anger them too, because they cannot tolerate a falsehood and something against their Islamic belief. But we're talking about just general characteristics. If your characteristics are not changing and the bad desires and bad characters not changing, means your salah is not changing you, your zakah is not changing you, your fasting is not changing you, something is being done wrong. Because if you do it right, Allah's going to change. If you're doing your tafakkur, doing your contemplation, coming and asking to be dressed that I'm nothing, I'm nothing, I'm nothing, then they would come to us and teach us. And one of the bigger shaykhs, the brother of my shaykh, would come and say, "Who's your shaykh?" To continuously agitate. "So who's your shaykh?" I said, "My shaykh? I am a ghulam of the one whom Allah put me in his presence. Shaykh is for the big guys, I'm just a ghulam." Because he wanted to come and to confront. This way is about being nothing and continuous crushing so that Allah can bring the sweetness of the reality. At that time they take you, they dress you, they bless you. When that base begin to dress you, all your characteristics change and you become a loving characteristic, a sweet characteristic, where people find pleasure and enjoyment in being around you. We pray that Allah dress from those realities, bless from those realities, that Islam is a loaded reality. It's not something that's dry. It's coming from the oceans of the heavens of paradise filled with immense realities. We pray that Allah dress us from those lights and bless us from those lights. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifoon, wa salaamun al mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Bi hurmati Muhammadan Mustafa wa bi sirri Surat al-Fatiha.
سيدنا النبي سيدنا النبي سيدنا النبي سيدنا النبي